Juan Williams Don't rule out impeaching Trump. Editors note the opinions in this article are the authors, as published by our content partner, and do not necessarily represent the views of MSN or Microsoft. That is the question for the Democratic majority in the House. Last week, Speaker Nancy Pelosi d. California said she is against. This means the key is Republican opinion. Democrats are ready to go. 66% of Democrats told a Quinnipiac University poll released this month that Congress should. But among Republicans, only 6% said it is time for impeachment. In fact, just 21% of Republicans believe Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into possible conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia is legitimate, according to a December Quinnipiac poll. That fits with an NPR/Marist poll, also from December, that found 71% of Republicans stand by the president's claim that he is the victim of a witch. Now for a dose of reality. That same poll found that means all that stands between Trump and impeachment hearings is a thin but unbending reed of support from the declining number of Americans who identify as Republicans. More than a few formerly loyal Republicans have departed as the GOP has become the party of Trump. The result is that Trump can point to support among the remaining Republicans as sky high, near 90%, and claim to be the most popular Republican in history. This political distortion remains a stubborn reality even as Gallup's most recent poll has Trump's approval rating among all Americans dropping to only 39%. Megan Brennan of Gallup wrote that approval, even in the face of guilty pleas, convictions, and evidence of repeated contacts between Russians and Trump campaign officials, the Trump media and his political supporters reflexively revert to giving blind support to the president. Somehow they don't see that Trump's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, and his former personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, are on their way to jail. They dismiss the reality that Cohen now describes Trump as a racist, a con. After that testimony, polls found more Americans believe Cohen than believe Trump. But once again, Trump's faithful stayed behind the president. To get a clear picture of the current grip Trump has on what remains of the GOP, take another look at the Quinnipiac poll this month. 89% but 48% of Republicans say that is not true. This is not just a political difference of opinion between Republicans and Democrats. To tune into Trump's defenders online, on radio and on television is to hear the president portrayed as a man hunted by a mob of Democrats, elites, deep state actors in the FBI and CIA, and even Republicans from Mueller to former FBI Director James Comey and former Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Last week, however, some light made its way through Trump's Iron Curtain. He lost a slice of Republican support in the House and Senate as both chambers voted to disapprove of his declaration of a national emergency after Congress turned down his request for money to build a border wall. This was a rare rebuke of the president by the Republican-controlled Senate. And it wasn't just, once again, the Trump echo chamber got busy attacking Republicans who voted their conscience, deriding them as weaklings. So Pelosi has a point when she predicts that impeaching Trump would be divisive. Respectfully, Speaker Pelosi, the Constitution says Congress has a duty to impeach the president if it finds that he has committed high. And Pelosi can't stop the approaching 2020 primaries. Aided by the subpoena power of House Democrats, new information about the president's business dealings, both foreign and domestic, is likely to raise eyebrows during the campaign, even among Trump's myopic loyalists. In addition, the GOP will also be defending 22 Senate seats to keep their majority in 2020. Do those 20 impeachment might not seem so divisive a short time from now. Juan Williams is an author and a political analyst for Fox News Channel.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.